quick because black has under 5 minutes remaining, and a quick material count shows us that black is up in exchange. I see 2 rooks over here for black. I only see 1 for white. I also see a back rank checkmate threatened. So where's the attack, right? There is a discovered check. Look at this. Knight can deliver a check. That king is in check, the queen's in check, but with back rank problems, not to mention a pawn c5 push available in many of these positions to shut down the check while attacking your queen. I'm counter-attacking in a way. It looks like Levon, despite his massive lead on the clock, he could be in some trouble over the board. What he really needs, John, is to get this queen, say to h6. Pieces don't move it that way, and black is threatening first.
It does feel like the one thing Levon could use at the moment is a tempo, because moving the knight to discover check, whether it's on b5 or c8, at least allows you to attack the queen on a7. That's all great, but unfortunately, rook takes rook on d1 is checkmate. You wanted, I don't know, maybe if your pawn on a2 was on a3 instead, this could be wildly different, or if there was a way to swing your rook across so that the discovered check, the king moves to the g file, you can just play rook takes rook with a lovely follow-up check. That doesn't work. The queen on a7 swoops in and recaptures. It feels like no matter what way you slice it, Levon is one tempo, one move away from being able to execute what he wants, and currently, at least, that's making all the difference.
And it's a clear extra exchange. We just saw his opponent get up from the board, perhaps look at the teammates' positions, because when you're under 5 minutes on the clock, you will not have much more time until you hit move 40. We're only 26 moves into the game. That's the bad news for Wong in this position, because he's in immense time trouble. His king is also open. So if you're Levon, you're already thinking, can I bring my bishop back, right? Can I play a move like bishop to f1 to close off this rook? We're not exchanging pieces, and there will be a discovered attack. This queen can slide on over to the king side. But I do think that black will have moves, and this queen also at some point would like to join, go all the way up to f2. Things are getting very spicy here.
And then if the queen comes back to defend, black has moves like rook b8, just trying to get the rest of his pieces involved in the attack as well. And it's looking like a net is slowly closing in around white's strategic position at the moment. So Zhenyong Wong under a lot of pressure right now. I mean, you are playing someone who was who was, I believe, second in the world at one point, regarded as the greatest of his generation. Oh, and by the way, he's got 42 minutes to your 4 minutes. Like, even though you're in a better position, this is so far from one because of all of those considerations. So, best of luck to both of these players, but Aronian is going to once again honestly, this is not the way he wants to pick up points going further and further into this Olympiad.
I could see his opponent nervously looking at the clock. I think that Levon has this one, and there's too many threats against the Black King. I see a variation if the queen goes to g1, where you're actually going to lose your queen, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's played, just because you want to bring the queen to the king's defense. And nervously looking at the clock, he does make a move. He brings his king out into the open. I think king g6 was just played here, and now the bar goes all the way up, John. It's because the king, it's going to have to run up after queen f6 check. The king has to run to h5 because otherwise the knight comes back to f5. It's going to come back to f5 anyway. Look at Levon. He knows he's winning at this stage.
Yes, indeed. Queen f6 is, I mean, so natural. I feel like pretty much anyone would play that straight away. So the king coming up to h5. Knight f5 anyway. What's black going to do there?
I think that in the best case scenario, black will have to sacrifice the queen for a knight. The king can only escape for so long. The bishop and the rook, they are not participating in the defensive task. So queen f6 check. I mean, for Levon Aronian, not only is he an amazing chess player in all time controls, he's also a phenomenal bug house player. And the key to bug house when you have a partner is that you need to make moves that simultaneously attack and defend. And he's showing here, queen f6 played, there he's locked in. That king is not going to run away. It's too exposed, it has no defenders. John, knight f5 next, and that king is hunted down.
That looks like toast for black. What an incredible series of moves, and an absolutely fantastic game from Levon Aronian. You can see Zhenyong Wong shaking his head. Kramnik in the background going, hang on a second, what just happened here? This was an incredible game. We're doing a quick bit of thinking, but I don't think black can escape from this now. And unfortunately for Zhenyong Wong, what a brilliant and valiant effort. There's just too many squares to cover.
And maybe the first position where he was up material, his king was not exactly safe, but his time, that was, unfortunately for him, his downfall. And we see him using his remaining seconds, trying to find an escape route for the king, but king g4 walks in a knight e3, a fork of the king and the queen. And so he's, look at him, he's pointing to his head, he brings his queen up to g4, but now his king is out of escape square, so a single check would be mate, except, actually, if queen g4 was played, queen h6 is checkmate on the board. Queen f3,
h6,
my
right?
apologies.
Got it. And then instantaneous response. Cold. Absolutely knew that this was a possibility. Levon Aronian instantly playing, and the game will go on for a move or two longer. But you can see the change in the body language as well, can't you? Like the moment where you go, yep, and this is it. The king has come down. But unfortunately, it looks like it's properly caught in the net now.
Knight e3 check is the dagger. The king is caught, the queen has to sacrifice, and once the queen goes, now it's white ahead, all the material, not just materially winning, but also with the better king. So what a turnaround for Levon and Team USA, because the other boards, John, they look quite even. So if Levon had gone down, resignation here, I mean, this is just, look at him breathe that sigh of relief.
Did you see that sigh? Oh my goodness, I don't blame him one bit. I think he knows what he got away with there. Don't you think so?
Yes, Levon, he is not in his first rodeo. He's won 3 gold medals at the Olympiad with Team Armenia, transferred federations to Team USA. I think that was John Donaldson, the longtime captain of USA, congratulating Levon here. His board 3 in this, board 2 in this matchup, if I'm looking at these things correctly, and that was a big win for USA. I actually was right the first time. Board 3 in this matchup, excuse me. He gets the job done with the white pieces, but whew, that was anything but a